Hello, hello, hello. It is my first vlog of NaNoWriMo because it is day one of NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. If you somehow didn't know, I don't know. It's cool. It's fine. Right now, background here, Ursula is drawing our comic Magpie because we have to actually get some Magpie done, and I don't want to show you my gross face, so that's what we're going to be looking at probably all month, is process on that. So I don't really have a topic to begin this year. I just kind of want to talk about my general feels on Nano, what I've done thus far, because I've done some stuff. I don't know how Ursula does these whole like talkie video things off the cuff. I will hopefully get better at them. I did my first one like for the last day of Inktober. So for NaNoWriMo this year, I plan on doing a traditional NaNoWriMo, which is 50,000 words of one novel that I started at the beginning of this month. And in my previous video, I talked about the fact that I kind of don't know what I plan on doing. Well, I didn't know what I was planning on doing at all, in any way, shape, or form. I was just kind of like, hey, I guess it's time to start doing a writing, and I went. I've lost track of what I'm saying. But yeah, I didn't come in with a plan. I initially had a plan in October of like what I was gonna do for NaNoWriMo, but like by the end of October, I wasn't really feeling it at all. So I switched over to the idea that I will just like, it hits November 1st and I go. So last night I stayed up playing Deltarune. I'm one of those people that says ruin instead of rune. Terrible. But I played Deltarune all night until 12 a.m. hit, the dawn of NaNoWriMo day one. So when that hit, I started to write. And damn, man, writing is hard. I don't know how to do it anymore. I've been writing comics for so long. Like, I've written some novels recently, but nothing I've really finished. And I've done a lot of revision type things. So my brain space is not really geared towards prose at the moment. So I wrote about 800 words, which is good for me because I have a problem. So like, I was talking yesterday about the fact that I tend to write like 500 words a day only on weekdays and not always. Like, I have a very poor word count. I am capable of doing like 10K in a day. I have done it. However, it is very difficult for me. For one, I have a lot of difficulty typing and grammaring on the fly. Like, my brain goes way faster than my fingers can keep up. One year, I paused NaNoWriMo just to learn how to do some touch typing, which helped me in the long run of things, but it slowed me down in the middle. Like, on the 15th, I was like, I'm gonna learn how to touch type because I don't think I can win without this. And it helped. I'm not like fully touch type person yet. I think my WPM is like 50. So I am not powerful. I am weak. And all of this is coupled with the fact that I edit as I go. I have a really, really bad streak of editing while I go. And it peeked its little ugly head in this day. Day one. So I started and I wrote like 150 word paragraph and I was like, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know if I like this. So I deleted it. And okay, so I deleted it and that was terrible of me. And then I wrote 500 more words and I was like, I don't know if I like this direction. So I deleted them. And this is when I quickly realized I need to stop doing this. So I started a trash folder on my Scrivener. And I've done this some years before because I have a serious problem with this. Seriously. So I started a trash folder where I can just throw things in after I write them if I don't like them. And then I can start from square one. So should I not actually reach the word goal of my novel, I still have those words on the floor that I can pick up and put into my word count. I'm just going to count the overall size of the draft plus trash for the full thing, but see if I can reach 50K with the main novel aspect of it. And like I was saying, I only write 500 words a day, but I'm kind of realizing through this through the fact that I wrote 800 and ended up keeping 141 probably means that I write more words than I think. I just have a very, very unhealthy relationship with the delete key. Someone should break it off of my keyboard because, like, seriously, my advice to anyone doing NaNoWriMo is don't do what I do. It's horrible for you. It's like running a race, but you just keep stopping to like kick yourself in the shin. Like that's what it's like for me to write. And like, I want to do it like a normal nano. Like my first nano is the best one that I ever did because I just sat and I wrote and I threw caution to the wind. Like I didn't care what was behind me. But now, while I can put Editor Bones away, I can put him in a little box and say, you stay in this box. He still can see. Like before it was like a super tight, locked up safe that he was not allowed to escape from. But but my most recent writing, it's like, yeah, he's in a cell, but like he can still talk to me and like I can still hear what he has to say. And as I'm writing, he's like, please don't do this to me. If you give me this pile of crap at the end of Nano, I'm gonna be so mad at you. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Bones. I don't know what to do because I need to get these words done, but I don't know. So yeah, that is the struggle of being me. And I know if I write enough crap words, if they ooze out of me, I'll have enough to sustain a beautiful, beautiful novel at some point. Like I'll have to cut tons and rework tons, and I'm gonna have to do that regardless of what happens. But there's like part of my soul that like bleeds anytime I head down the wrong path. Like my writing process, I have developed it and I like it. I like where I'm at with my writing process, and it doesn't mesh well with NaNoWriMo, and I'm trying my best, especially with my trash pile for the trash words, the trash word jail, where they can still contribute to my nano goal, but stay away from me. Like my problem is I am a discovery writer, but I can't fully throw caution to the wind. Like I understand how stories work, and I understand that if I go down the wrong paths, I'm gonna make something unsalvageable. So what I kind of did with my first words, like my first paragraph, it wasn't worthless. It lives in the trash can, but it's still beautiful. It gave me like, because I started with no prep whatsoever, I wrote my first paragraph and I was like, I like this vibe, I hate everything about it, but I like this vibe. And then I wrote it again, and it was more concrete, but nothing was melding together. Like, the world didn't make sense at all, and my main character didn't make sense. And I'm like, I cannot write a story on this foundation. So I took a lot of the ideas from that second go at the beginning, and I took a lot of like theme elements from the very first paragraph, and then I came up with something that like will actually probably push a novel forward. Maybe I'm just trying to convince myself, but I find like if I don't have the right setup, I am setting myself up for failure when it comes to NaNoWriMo. And I also think that doing Preptober type things don't work for me, because writing very skeletal versions of stories, it tends to take the fun out of things for me. I like to feel out a story, like, you know, get my hands all up in there, and that involves writing a lot, which I feel like defeats the point of doing a Preptober if I'm just writing, and it kind of kills my momentum when I do this. I know a lot of people, like, I really wouldn't recommend my process to anyone, like, new, who doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to writing. I would definitely follow some outlines and like just explore and do whatever, because like you can have this problem where you rewrite the beginning of your story 5 million times, and if you don't know how to finish a story, you probably should just like keep going and see what happens. Me, I've finished tons of stories, and I know when a beginning is setting me up for failure at this point. I feel like this is maybe my justification, but I feel like I know when a story's setting me up for failure and I need to rectify it quick, otherwise it sends me down the wrong path. I've done this around the midpoint of stories too, where I find that I've written myself into a corner. I need to delete like the past 2 chapters and just start in that direction again, a different way again. not a great thing because it's like editing as you go, and definitely not something that's really good for Nano, but I have to do it. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be able to actually finish the story in any meaningful way. I feel like if I don't do this part of my process, then like nothing good is going to come out of NaNoWriMo for me. It's just going to be word vomit, and that's not really what I want at this point. I kind of like my ultimate goal for this novel is 50k is a small novel, so I think I want to edit it myself and I want to self-publish it for all of you guys to see. You know, I'm not really pursuing publishing with this. I have a lot of other stories that I am pursuing TradPub with, but I want to do some more self-published stuff. I want to have like a novella out there for you guys to actually see what I do, so that when you take my advice, you're not like sus about me. Like you can actually, because there's so many people where it's like you gotta look at their writing to see if you want to follow them, and like I have my comics out there, but I'd like to have some prose out there, so I think that'd be fun, and that's my ultimate goal with my story. My other goals for Nano this year include just like doing more of a community aspect here. I really want to encourage you all to do your creative projects this year. Like, you don't have to write a novel, but like NaNoWriMo is the perfect time to set a creative goal. It's kind of like Inktober in that regard, but if you're doing comics, because I know a lot of you here, a vast majority of you here watching me, love doing comics. Set some comic goals for yourself. Set some script writing goals if you haven't. Just set a manageable goal for yourself, and we can all do this creative thing together. And if you set a number-oriented goal, you can kind of convert the 50k into the numbers that you want, and then you could go on the Nano site and be a little Nano rebel. They're totally allowed. So if like say maybe you're doing 50 comic pages this November, like penciling them or something, then you could have 1,000 words equal 1 page, and then you could follow along. It's just, there's such a good vibe around Nano for creative types. Sometimes I can find the writing community a bit intense. Some subsects of the community are really fun, but a lot of it can be pretty intense. Especially early on. Now that I'm like in writing more, like people are way more chill. Like, you just gotta find them. But either way, what am I saying? I find Nano is a great time to meet other creative people who are excited about goals, and you can all stick together and party hard. I mean, Ursula has done artistic goals in the past. This year she's doing Nano. She's kicking my ass thus far. She has like 1,700 words, and I'm like, ugh, how? How did you do that? I don't know. That's the dream. And like, if you don't want to get into your community, I recommend trying out your community. You might meet some really fun creative people, especially if you're an artist and looking for a writer. This is the perfect opportunity to start finding someone, maybe even in your area, that can like be interested in stories with you. And a lot of people into stories are interested into RPing. So there's so many opportunities right now in the creative community, so I say go for it. The other thing is I'm going to be doing live streams on Monday. I will set a time and I will stick to it at some point. It's probably going to be in the morning-ish until the end of the day almost. Like, not the night, but the end of like the work day. And yeah, like I said, you don't have to be writing. It's just going to be a kind of work session thing. Like, we'll do 10 minutes work, 5 minutes break, maybe less, maybe more. I'm not sure about the breakdown of it, but it'll just be like little guided work periods, so we can all work together and chat and chill to some chill vibes. I'm really excited about doing that. I'm hoping it really encourages me to get more work done. Yeah. I also have tons of other stuff to get done today. I have all the shop images to upload to Etsy, because I've switched to Etsy. I have switched stores 3 times now, and I have finally landed on Etsy. I have paid for the listing, so I'm not gonna leave. My goodness. That was so much. Yeah, what am I saying? I'm just really excited. And if you want to follow along like really closely with what I'm doing, feel free to add me on the NaNoWriMo website. I'm Bones McKay on there, and I will accept your friend's request. I might not friend you back, I'm sorry to say. I need to keep up with people like in my area, so it gets a little crazy there. But yeah, feel free to friend me. You can watch all the progress and such. I'll be talking a lot on Twitter mostly. That's the place where Bones goes off and is Bones. So yeah, you can check that out in the description. All the links will be there. I guess I have to add my NaNoWriMo link too. So there's that. Yeah. Damn, I think that's a fair enough start, considering I haven't really done much. I have a whole bunch of other writing to do. I plan on doing 3 sessions today, and I plan on hitting today's word goal. And I'm planning to hopefully hit it in my actual thing and not my trash file. That's the dream. I don't know if we'll achieve the dream, but we'll try. Yeah, okay. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. You better not stay on YouTube for 5 hours after this. Okay, like, get off. If you are not done, you should be, like, working now, okay? Get your goal, you silly bean. And if you're chilling, don't worry. This isn't for you. This is for you, the other one. The procrastinator. You in the back. Okay. Goodbye. Happy writing.